Okay, folks, we are at the Catamaran here. That's the trimaran over there, and we're making a splash guard. Because what happens, this is kind of nose heavy, so the nose goes down, but when it goes down, it throws water all up here from the center here. We could put a piece of wood across here, all the way across here, and have this like a flat deck, which I think might be a better option, but we're not going to do that right now. So we're making a splash guard. We're connecting. This is obviously a pattern. This is not the tarpaulin. This is the tarpaulin material here, heavy duty with those kinds of holes and stuff, reinforced rope around the edges, all that kind of super duper stuff. Okay, so anyway, we're making this. So we make little holes here, clip on here. We have a hole here, so we can clip a carabiner onto here. And down there, we've got three. I don't know if you can see them very well, but I'll try to zoom in. See that? You see that hoop right in the center? And there's another one there, and there's another one over there on that side. So we got three hoops there that we clip these bottom to. And that makes like a little shovel type of an angle thing that will push water down. They'll try to come up, but it's going to hit all this stuff and kind of go over the side here. Who knows? I don't know where it's going to go, but I hope it don't go in the boat. And it only happens if you stop quickly. And I haven't had this in waves. We've had that one in waves, and we're putting splash guards on that, wooden plywood ones. And we got the same type of tarpaulin one on the front, in front of where the wood ones go. I'll walk over there and show you that. But this one's basically, we'll take this over to the tarpaulin company, and we'll have them cut this out. I'm going to trim a little more off this side, I think. But other than that, I think we're almost good to go. So then, here is our splash guard for the catamaran. See that? We got going across here. Because what happened was Lindy and I came to the front of the boat, which it's front heavy. We don't like that at all, but it is. And Celso was driving, and he shut the throttle off because he's never driven an outboard. He shut it off real fast, and it caused the boat to like nosedive. And it nosedived, water came up and just kind of flew in the boat. Well, this obviously the water can hit that, and it just shoves it right back down in the ocean. Ideally, what we could do is put a piece of wood across here, just deck this whole front end here from where this here ends. This is a pretty flat spot here, across there and back, and just have this a big flat wood deck. I was going to try to put like a trampoline here, but not the way that it is nose heavy. The other thing we're going to do to kind of counterbalance that nose heaviness, we're going to put our 8 horsepower outboard transom mount on here, like we have on there. We have the 2 on each side. Well, it sticks out about 10 inches or 8 or so, and that pushes the engine back further, which puts more weight on the back, which hopefully levels it out more. So that's our other game plan that we got going to get this thing so it has a pretty good ride. You see the little baby crab? There it is. No, yeah, that's a hermit crab, I think. These are hermit crabs in shells. They're everywhere. Little baby ones everywhere. So they got to graduate up to a bigger shell. They're everywhere. Oh, they're everywhere. I'm just walking on these things. They're thousands, hundreds, millions. Who knows? I didn't count them, but, you know, a lot. So anyway, back to here. This is how it goes. Honey? Mm-hmm. Over there. Go over there. And you can see, we've got the tunnel through here, obviously, where water can go through. And then it can hit this front angled part here, which is good here. See, we angled this front here so that if it hit that, it'd shove it back in the ocean. We have a lip here that's supposed to shove it back, but these things stick out so far. And again, if you ever build a boat like this, this is 10 feet long, you need 12 feet long, and that'll get that front. So you'll get more volume and more flotation, and the front will be where it should be. Up, with the level water line. Here, let's look at this water line here. Honestly, it looks pretty straight. You can see the dirt line there is pretty straight. pretty even when it's floating. That goes up a hair, just about an inch. So it's not horribly bad, but nonetheless, it's not ideal. And when I've got the 30 horsepower on here now, so we're going to test it with that on there and see how well it handles. It should make this thing behave much better. An 8 horsepower, it just plows through the ocean. It doesn't even dream of getting up on plane. It's just dragging itself through the ocean. So, and the 15 horsepower, same thing. You only get 1 mile per hour faster with the 15. Double the horsepower, you get 1 mile per hour. So we quadrupled. Well, from 8 to 30, that's 5 times. No, 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 5, 8. We got 8, 4, 30. 3 times 8 is 24. So, yeah, a little bit more. Anyway, get your calculators out if you want to figure that one out. So we got 30 horsepower, and that should be interesting. I'm just going to say interesting. I'm not going to pronounce any successes or anything like that, but we'll see. So we are done with what we're doing right now. We just put the rear cover on that. We got to do some cleanup, painting, epoxy, kind of improve that non-marine piece of plywood that we used, which I'm wrestling with whether we should have used it or not, but we did because we don't have any other plywood. And so that was just a random piece laying around that we had painted for McCoy, the other boat builder, not the youngest, the middle-aged boat builder of the 3 boat builders that help us with stuff. And he was going to use it, and then he noticed that it's delaminating, and he said, well, he can't use it. He wants to use it on his boat, but he's not going to. But we had epoxy enameled it for him with just whatever we had left over after the epoxy enameling we did on the splash guards, which are not on that boat yet. This is a tarpaulin splash guard. That also has tarpaulin splash guards too. So, and it's the same theory, the same set up here. Also, if you want to see our anchors, we don't use those Popeye the Sailor Man anchors. They're called fishermen. We took one and modified it into a 4-prong. I added bigger spades on there, the little triangle blades. I added stainless steel to them. I cut off the big crossbar here that goes across the top, and I cut it, and it used it for the other 2 spades, and put these other ones under a torch and bent them the right angle, or what I think is the right angle. They seem to do good, and they're supposed to be self-setting with the way I set it up. I could have put the angle out a little bit more out, maybe an inch at most. Gave it a 2-inch wider spread, and that might have been a better angle automatic setting, but they seem to set pretty good. So anyway, the tarpaulin here is the same thing. It goes from here. Actually, it goes from here over to here, and then back, and it clips on. Well, it clips onto the cleat, and it clips onto these hoops here, and it goes under the splash guard that'll go here, and clips on. Well, we don't have clips back there for it, so we got to figure out a clipping thing on that to clip the back flap, or it's just going to dangle down, and I don't want it dangling down. And then, of course, we got the carabiner, the hoops here to clip it to before we get to the splash guard. So there's one here, because if you saw in the video where I said we almost sank the boat, when we just hit a wake, like a 1.5, I don't think it was a 2-foot wake, but it hit this thing sideways at an angle, well, not sideways, diagonally. Hit this and threw water all back up, all over there, just like 2 bucketfuls, it looked like, and just drenched the inside of the boat. So that's why we're putting a splash guard across here. The dogs love to run in this mud. I don't know why. It's muddy. It seems like their feet would get stuck, but they don't. So anyway, we got the tarpaulin splash guards for the front and the plywood splash guards for between the hulls. And then we got the other cover back there. So we're just trying to keep the water out of the boat. We'll leave these covers on here when we're moving around initially, certainly. I mean, we may roll it up to here because we got gas tanks and stuff in here that go to the outboards here. One gas tank goes here for this engine, and one gas tank goes over there for that engine, and the hose and stuff goes in here. So we may leave this back open. We'll see. We'll see how everything works out. So anyway, you kind of got the anti-flooding, anti-splashing, keep it dry on the inside, wet on the outside. You know how that works. Boats. That's boats, folks. And again, we got this thing here. This is a snug fit, so I got to really pull it kind of hard to get it out, so it'll fit. Everything should be good to go. Our designs and things appear to be working, so we will be back with more. It's just getting the work done. And again, now we got to repaint that, epoxy the edges, the plywood's delaminating on the edges. It's just junk. I mean, I could buy another piece of plywood, unscrew all that, cut it that exact size, screw it all back in, and I might be better off. So we'll ponder that too. So paradise out. And technically I don't even have to have these cutouts here. I don't have to have these cutouts here on this side, this notch, because this shape here will just lay on this wood here. But the blue will look nice when it shows through. That blue, nice blue stripes there, I think it'll look good. Aesthetics, folks. We're talking aesthetics now, not engineering, not science and math. Aesthetics. Let it get that blue to pop. So anyway, we're going to take this splash guard off and put it wherever we put splash guards, and then we'll be back with more. Oh, by the way, this is how deep the low tide is here. Otherwise, it'd be over my head. There's a bunch of sea urchins somebody got and cracked. They eat the yellow stuff from inside, and if you ever wonder what it tastes like the ocean. It tastes like the ocean smells. It just has an oceany thing. Oh, here's a whole bunch of sea urchins. They just dropped them all right here. They're all over the place, see? I don't know what they're doing here, but this is a rock that I'm standing on right here. But yeah, they just dumped them. So anyway, I tried to make this boat land in the grass, but we extended the rope some. So, because we thought a storm was coming and we wanted to give it more road, which is more length of the anchor rope to let the anchor lay down more as the waves lifted, and try to lift the anchors up. And when we did that, it can move and sit on top of this rock, which I don't like it, because when the waves come in, it slides back and forth maybe and scratches the bottom. But I got thick epoxy on the bottom of here. That's why this thing is so dang heavy. It's layered with epoxy everywhere, top, bottom, inside, out. So anyway, there's a splash guard. Paradise out.